All right. Thank you to those who have come. So let us start our next speech by EUGENE GONCHARENKO.
Thank you. Thank you to the one who joined. My name is EUGENE GONCHARENKO. I'm the head of department at Bakotech, the company who is representing Observit in the region, including Baltics. We're actually based in Ukraine, and that's why we decided with my colleagues that rather than to talk about the product and some features and so on, to just share the recent experience which we had based on the project in National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine. We believe it was a very interesting one. So just to share the idea from the project, how it was, what was the challenges, why they chosen our product, and what they gained out of this project, and in the end, so talk about a little bit what we can offer in general. So itself, National Anti-Corruption Bureau is a newly created government agency which was founded in 2014, right after the revolution in Ukraine, aimed to clean the government and parliament and judges itself from the corruption after the previous guys. And it is, we believe it's totally independent because it's funded not out of the Ukraine budget, but from the budget of the international funds. And these guys are really different, they are really modern, and I would say that this is one of the institutions that simple people in Ukraine really believe in, that they will bring us changes, good changes. So from the business itself, it is more like 200 detectives who are working on a daily basis on the criminal cases against high officials. So, and as you can understand, any insider leakage will result to execution of escape to Panama plan, that guy will be informed in time and he will be next day somewhere behind the sea. So that's why they initiated this kind of project, and actually they were looking for something which they didn't knew that whether it exists or not. But we will talk about this a little bit later on. So from the IT perspective, from the landscape perspective, the infrastructure looks like more than 500 Windows-based workstations, around 30 heterogeneous servers, Windows, Linux, Unix, the mixture of everything. So, and according to our laws, there are two major different types of information they work with. It's like a state secret. So, of course, it's a separate, isolated zone with restricted access, and there is some special galaxy, separated universe. And it was not a part of this project, of course. And so-called information with the limited access on the both servers and the workstations of this organization. And actually, the most sensitive data they had, and which was where this project were aimed on, was the simple documents detectives work on a daily basis. These criminal procedures they write, they make reports, he has the data, and this criminal procedure, it's like a tree. So, for example, this is like, you know, this is the suspect, this is his activity, this is his relative's activity. So, if this guy if this detective is not, let's say, a good one, he can turn a bit around, he can just cut some text out of that, or he can just, you know, put on hold some part of that, and the main suspect will never be judged in the end, or suited. So, what was the challenges? So if we combine itself. So first of all, as I said, insider can bring a lot of damage. Insider will result in the either selling information or informing on his patron, or just selling information to the third parties. Also, this could be detected, but if it's proactive, this will save a lot of man days. And also, I can tell you as a Ukrainian, we demand changes. And every time high official from the previous power been suited, this is like a local win for normal people. And NABU, they're always blamed they work slow. They should suit more, they should make more procedures itself, etc. So, and every time there is some kind of, you know, hold or something, then people are really disappointed. So for them, time also matters. And of course, that's if we talk about detectives, but also there are IT staff who is serving the daily basis, the network, detectives, PC, servers with the data, etc. So with administrative privileges, they can gain access to the things they should not get access to. And they had created a special division to prevent, detect, and investigate data leakage and the conflict of interest things, etc. And of course, this division, they required some kind of special tools to be proactive and to act fast. What kind of tools? As I'm talking right now to these people, they were investigating a lot of things like just simple user behavior analysis, DLP systems, considering CEM is a part of roadmap and their environment, etc. But as you can understand, they don't have big budgets, and they needed something which would be rather reasonable from the price perspective, could combine things which can analyze user behavior and also include some privileged account management things. So something cumbersome they had never experienced with before. And we were on time there. We said that there is a project. Why standard approach was not enough. That's what I was going to mention. That because the classic DLP systems, let's call it that way, they are focused more on data rather than on people. So they don't have any user behavior analysis, and there are no risk scoring or modeling based on data, based on what people are executing, changing, what applications they use, what is their, you know, patterns of activity, etc., etc. That's from one side. There are, of course, a lot of privileged access management solution to control IT stuff, but and they're okay, they're fine, and there's good tools on the market, but they are not effective against business users. So you will not enforce people to work on the terminal with the regular mail. So that's crazy. Or just, you know, to enforce somebody, the detective, to work with Word file, which is somewhere so we can control his session. So it's crazy. And of course, there are user behavior systems, but they are from our side, for example, but they are based on a CM platform. So you should first have CM in place, which is not very cheap thing, but it's of course required. And there's nothing to do with the privileged users with IT stuff itself. So why they chose and observe it in the end? Because we combine these things. Because we are an agent-based solution. Agent, it's let's say number one function is to record and capture user activity. But because we are sitting in the system of inside the operating system, we can detect and ask users who are using the shared account, for example, to introduce themselves against Active Directory credentials or something like that. I'll show you an example in a couple of minutes. So also we offer risk modeling on users' behavior. So if there are some alerts, if there is an alert based on some command executed or application has been launched or some data was exported from the system, we are putting the score to the alerts, and we have a so-called insider threat management dashboard where we combine and analyze this data. And based on this risk scoring, we can do some different actions like start session recording, hit the alert, just to take a look on this user. Maybe he's doing something he should not do. So, and price, we believe at least it's reasonable compared to like a big guys. And we also have some, I would call it basic data loss detection and a little bit prevention features in the product. when the user is trying to, for example, upload some data to Dropbox or Google Drive, we can hit the pop-up and the screen will be blank that this action is not permitted. You should use SharePoint. Please contact your administrator or security staff. And of course, using this communication which goes from the agents, we believe that user education is preventing the majority of data leakage, accident data leakage, when people are doing things they should not do, but they were not aware that it's not allowed. And I would call it a big benefit that that's a flexible vendor. It's actually Israeli company, and they don't do nothing apart of this product. So all their R&D is focused on this product, and we had a case during this project in Nabu that POC started really fast. We deployed agents in, I don't know, less than 1 day. But then they have Windows, it was in April of this year, they had Windows 10 environment for all their workstation, and the keylogger function was killing, there was a memory leak and it was killing the performance of the machine, so people could not work. So we escalated that, and within 1 month, Observe introduced a special patch for this particular installation. Now it's a part of new release, of course, but on that time they were so, let's say, open and flexible for us. So we treat it like a big benefit. And of course, we're local presence. So at Bakotech, first of all, we have our own engineers, which mission is to help customers and partners implement the things. And also we try to be local from the partner perspective. We have well-developed partner channel in Latvia, in Baltic states, of course in Ukraine and other countries we work with, so you will have the feeling that it's somebody who knows this, really knows that and is close by. So, and how the solution itself works and how it's deployed at national agency, Anti-Corruption Bureau, sorry. So there are, as I said, different types of Unix, Linux, and Windows servers. There are administrators who are using either RDP, SSH, or maybe even some local access to the servers. And there are some desktops where the regular detectives are working with. So we installed agents on each particular machine there, and these agents, they are sending the data to Observe management server. Actually, by the data, it's not even the video. It's screenshots with the high density, depending on the user actions, which are compressed. So the amount of traffic we consume from the network perspective is really small, and the storage of this database, the size of this database is really reasonable. And we do all the magic here. We do analysis, we do alerting with all the metadata which agents is generating, like caption names, like keystrokes, like commands, etc., etc. So, and we present it via web console, and people are, the security stuff works with these things. What is mandatory, and I think especially in Baltic states, the privacy protection things are also crucial here. So we can have a mechanism which allow security officer to replay the session only with 4 hands. So there should be two people authenticated and allowed, so there is no some bad security officer who wants, I don't know, in the night look what these people are doing on the machines. So, and just like an example how the insider detection patterns and the behavior could look like. So, for example, we see that okay, this guy was using some Gmail instead of corporate mail. He was sending some emails for some reason from Gmail. Okay, maybe he was just, I don't know, chatting with his friends or his wife, etc. Okay, within a couple of days he was doing too many search queries to the CRM system, or even maybe he was exfiltrating some data. So he hit export all contacts button or something like that from the system. Okay, and then it was zipped and then it was sent again through the Gmail. So if we look on this one by one, this might be some kind of regular thing, but if we combine it, score it with some kind of risk factor, we can immediately raise the risk bar and saying that you should pay attention to this guy. Maybe this is some kind of, either it's real insider, or in case of Nabu, there is also a case when detectives are being on big push. So either bad guys know their family relatives and they try to push them hard in that way, so they do some bad things, so they can prevent from and save some people, and people are the most crucial for them, of course. And so how the workflow from the graphics perspective, of course I don't have the screenshots from this organization because it's restricted, but just from our demo environment. So that's the console. So here you can see the list of users with the real names, etc. There's the risk scoring things, some kind of generic information, top 10, top risky alerts, top risky applications, risky users, etc. Latest alerts, and we can see the most suspicious things for each user. So, for example, we see that for this guy, we have a tremendous risk level increase for last, I don't know, day. So let's have a look on his session log, what caused that. And just an example. So we see his user activity for last, I don't know, 24 hours. He was doing some stuff. So if I zoom it out a little bit, for example, I'm interested in this particular case. Okay, the guy it's a IT administrator, and he was log into the server, but why he was editing this config file, which is not related to the task he was making. And we can see, and from this now on, we don't have to look and go through the whole 2-hour session. We just hit replay button on this particular alert, and we see exactly what was this session about and what was his changing, etc., etc. And now you can, make an investigation, interview him. And there is also often the case, no, I wasn't doing that. Okay, but we have an evidence, so, and then there's the clear case that we need to work with this person closely. So as I said, also to give you a flavor of how this second authorization and de-anonymizing of shared accounts works. So for example, in Windows environment, when the administrator is logging in as just an administrator, another screen pops up and agent is asking him to introduce himself. So either it could be a user from AD or any other LDAP source, so it doesn't matter really. Or you can use also enter the list of valid persons for this server directly to observe it. This is useful, for example, for third-party access for some contractors or remote vendors, etc. And when he was when he went through authorization, there's the message that this server is subject of this kind of policy. You are not allowed to do this and that, and your session will be recorded. So he acknowledged that, and then now he can work with the machine. What is also good that compared to, let's say, classic privileged access management tools which are introduced also in this event, we do not change the way people access to the servers in this case. So it is simple RDP. There is no bridge, there is nothing. People just using direct RDP, and everything else is done by the agent which sits on this machine. So from the Linux or Unix perspective, same approach. So when some person is trying to get root privileges, log in as a root to this machine, agent says that you should authenticate yourself. There are two types, or observe it user or domain authentication. So this person chooses domain authentication, and he enters the password, and we also send him a message that all activity on this machine is recorded and monitored, and he can use the system. Moreover, agent on Linux and Unix can prevent from execution some particular commands. So this will also prevent from some data exfiltrating or making some bad things. So what's next according to the plans? Of course, they want to have CM next year, and they are now looking around. And Observe It would be integrated with the CM tool. We have out-of-the-box connectors for the major CM platforms like ArcSight, like Curator, Splunk. What data is going to be sent there? They are now considering, first of all, this privileged identification, privileged access management data. So, for example, CM, it has identified from the regular events that there was administrative, somebody logged in as a root or as an administrator to this machine. We can enrich these events with the events from Observe It system saying who was this user. So if there was an incident, we can immediately see exactly who is this person who was working with this account. And also what was really a surprise for me, and they already implemented data classification solution, if you know, if you are aware of that. And together with data classification solution, they use Observe It. So Observe It says that if there is some kind of mark that this file is confidential and somebody is trying to do something with that, it will immediately raise an alert, block the system, etc. So they said that at least for the next 2 years, they do not plan to invest in DLP system. It's kind of special approach. I partially agree with that, but at least that's the customer vision, because they are tight on the budget, so they have to choose. And this approach allowed them to a little bit optimize their costs and their budgets for the closed year. That's all actually. So let me know if you have any questions. We have a booth with the demo environment, and unfortunately our engineer has to fly, has a flight in half an hour, so he's already in the airport. So demo environment, we can try to show it to you, but I don't think it would be very interesting. But still, we can have a chat and share the contacts and arrange some demo for you later. Thank you.
The prize from our conference for